Okay. Hello guys, I'm live and we've got someone with us who's going to be joining us right away. So just hold on. Here I go, here I go, here I go now. We've got Nutritionist Minacshi for a live interaction. Just inviting her to join. Okay, I've invited her. Let's see. Is she online now?
Hello, hi.
Hey, hi, Minakshi. Good to see you. You're looking
You
bright.
too.
I'm looking tired, I think. Being working the entire day. Nice,
Just worked
nice,
out.
nice.
I just worked out half an hour back, so I think that glow is there on my skin.
Glow is there on your face. Yay. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. So, I think people are waiting for this interaction of ours to share mutual experience
Yes.
on. Guess the video is kind of coming in patches. I just lost you for a few seconds. Can you just repeat?
Yeah. Sorry, I think there was a slight connectivity issue. I'm back.
Okay, great. A lot of hearts coming towards you. So
And
what I was
you.
mentioning is, yeah, I was just mentioning that people are looking forward to hear through our informal chat on diabetes and overweight do's and don'ts. So how do you want to go about it? Have you have any thought in the beginning you want to ask me, or yeah,
Yeah,
over to you.
we can just get started off.
Yes.
I would love to know your viewpoint. As you like we were discussing the other day, you have a certain viewpoint, and I would love to understand how you help treat your patients and also manage help them manage their diabetes.
Okay, sure. So, for the audience, I think the background should be short because they are looking for quick takeaways. But a very quick
Yes.
background. The journey is a little long one, almost 9 years, and started with discovering that reversal is possible, uh, going on a vegan diet to begin with, then
Mm-hmm.
working on exercises which gets the lymphatic circulation moving and inflammation reduced, then getting into how stress affects your weight and your diabetes both, because stress hormones increase, weight can increase. It's shown
Yes.
in rats also, if you
Yes.
just stimulate the amygdala, which is the central brain, survival brain, those rats will become obese. So stress part started getting included, and medical part, of course. So we've been
Yeah.
working on diet, exercise, inner transformation in medical for the last 9 years, and
Nice.
12,000 people are free by now of medication and
Amazing.
insulin.
Amazing.
3,000 people have more than 10 kg weight loss, with our record is on 57 kgs. In
Amazing.
Gurgaon, Philip Bangraj is the person. So
Amazing.
that's a very quick background, okay? And it'll be
Amazing.
nice to know your background also, and your
So
experience in diabetes and overweight,
yes.
Minakshi.
So I've also been doing this for 9 years, actually, surprisingly enough. I've
Yay!
been doing this. Next year I'll hit my decade. Both of us will rather. So yeah, I've been a nutritionist for 9 years. It's such an enjoyable experience, to be able to give people a better life, better energy levels, just feel good about themselves is really good. I work as a lifestyle coach as well. Like I help people improve their lifestyle. Of course, I work with diabetes and weight management, PCOS, all the common lifestyle problems that the majority of the population faces today because of the kind of the world we live in, rather. So,
Hmm.
yes, I've seen amazing results with just changes or rather tweaking your diet, your lifestyle, and the kind of choices you make, having such exponential, positive benefits on a person's health. So it's brilliant. Yeah, it's just amazing. It's like how you could just like certain things you change in your diet make such a big difference. Like, understand, I help people understand their body better so they can help themselves feel better as well. So that's pretty much a simplified background about myself.
Very nice. Excellent. So, what are your recommended, let's say, don'ts? Maybe people might want to know
Don't.
don'ts first, because they want to know the do's later.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we can
yeah,
start doing. But what are the don'ts? What are your
yeah,
recommended
yeah,
don'ts for diabetics and
yeah.
overweight people?
So for diabetes as well as overweight, but first majorly for diabetes, it's all about your blood sugar. It's all about managing and controlling your blood sugar. That's a very basic level. That when you see your HbA1c or your fasting or your PP glucose elevated, you know that you're either at risk or you have diabetes. So the easiest thing that I tell everyone is, which most people I think overlook a lot of the times, is isocaloric eating. So just to simplify it, having equal calories in all your main meals, including your snacks, or close to it, like plus or minus 50 calories or so, really helps stabilize the sugar levels. Because what happens is when you're eating a big breakfast and then a very light lunch and then a very big dinner, you see your sugar levels going like this. So you rather want to plateau it. So that's one of the easiest things that you can incorporate right now to just get this ball rolling. In terms of don'ts, I think it's lots of people will be like, but why? I want to eat this, I want to eat that. But the basic don'ts would be refined sugars, refined foods, processed foods. All of that definitely has a negative impact on your your blood sugar levels. Don't overdo the fruit, don't overdo the grain, because all of that immediately spikes your blood sugar. And whenever you are doing the carbohydrates part of it, always pair it with some protein or some fat and fiber, so that the spike of blood sugar in your sugar in your blood is not very huge. That's why whenever, even diabetics, non-diabetics, when you're eating fruit, I always tell them to pair it with some protein or fat, or like nuts and seeds or some nut butter, something like that. It helps with that very immediate and very high sugar spike. So simple, very simple. This is something anybody and everybody can follow. So so Dr. Pramod and I are going to talk about things that everybody can follow, so that it's not complicating your life too much.
Very true. Very true. I mean, that's important, because whatever I shared should be something that people can implement easily for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Enjoy the implementation. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to sustain it.
Exactly.
So, do you actually recommend like maybe 6 meals or something, 5-6 meals or something like that?
So it also depends on the person. It depends on the person, but 3 main meals for sure: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some people like to intermittent fast and all of that. That's completely based on you, because if your gut health is getting affected when you intermittent fast and you feel like acidity is building up, then I would say obviously don't skip that breakfast meal or don't skip that dinner meal. So I work on very, very personalized nutrition. I don't like just say for everybody this is something that's going to work. The more personalized it is, I feel like the better it works for the person. So the point is eventually for you to understand your own body type and be able to make informed decisions with that knowledge, to help your body thrive, basically.
Interesting. Because what we tend to do, and we've got a nice 200-member team with almost 35 nutritionists working full time with us, with a PhD person also. What we try to do is we do some degree of personalization, I would say, but it's a lot more standardized. Okay, so it's a different approach altogether.
Yeah.
So it's quite standardized, like phase 1. Particular diet, then phase 2, what you talked of intermittent fasting or juice feasting, that's integrated phase 2. Then there's a muscle building kind of process. So, and we found that works especially when you need to work with larger population, because one-to-one, of course, one-to-one work is needed, because BMI types are different, Vata Pitta Kapha is different. We've got a couple of MD Ayurveda doctors also. So we also, and I remember you mentioning that in the initial talk that you were interested. So Ayurveda angle also, Vata Pitta Kapha, how is the body type? That's very, very important. BMI is very important. How much is the hunger level important? And you need to modify the diet. There's no question about that. But to some degree standardization, and to some degree, personalization.
I understand.
That has worked well for us and our participants. And they've enjoyed the journey.
That's really nice.
Isocaloric is important. What we tend to do is we tend to cut out the grains from the breakfast. We make it more dal based. And I think one misconception many people have is that dal is all protein.
No, but it has carbs, exactly. Exactly. Most people think that dal is just protein. I'm like, no, dal has almost equal, ratios of
60%. 60%, almost 60% carbs. Grain will have a little bit more, 70-80% carbs. But we tend to do that, and it works. And of course, we like. I'm sure you would also increase the salads
Yeah,
and the vegetables, reduce the grain,
vegetables.
increase the
Yeah, good
increase the
fat,
dal.
good protein.
Yeah, yeah, correct. So increase the dal, increase the salads, increase the vegetables, reduce the grain, and
Yeah,
try to keep it proportionate in the meals. And that helps to reduce the calories in a way, which is, of course, as a short-term strategy, very important. Yeah, sugar rising, one is connected to the whatever sugar is coming from the diet part. Second is the stored sugar that they have,
exactly,
which keeps getting pumped into the blood. So we need
exactly.
to look at the short term and the long term both in terms of what they're having, and then overall how can they deflate the balloon,
Yeah.
because most of the diabetics and overweight people know it's not about, I'm talking of deflating the balloon is not just from the perspective of the physical body,
Yeah.
but also acid in the body. So
Mm.
what we tend to do also is focus a lot on the making of the body more alkaline and cleaning
Mm.
up the body
Yes.
through green
Understood.
smoothie and veggies and soaked nuts and sprouts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it really works. So you deflate the body, you reduce the inflammation and swelling, and suddenly the insulin starts functioning much better. So
Got it.
those are
Got it.
some of our what do you say insights that we've
Mm.
got.
So there's one thing that I also really like for anybody who's pre-diabetic and diabetic is fenugreek water. I have seen really, really good results in it naturally bringing, blood glucose levels down. So is that something that you also, recommend?
Yeah, fenugreek, then karela, then
Mm.
jamun,
Mm.
cabbage, bhindi water also.
Mm.
Somebody's asking what is the first thing to eat or drink in the morning after getting up. So green smoothie, and you make it super smoothies. You add super greens to it, moringa, barley grass, wheatgrass, spirulina in rotation. You
Mm.
make the smoothie really strong and powerful in the morning. This is just a response to somebody's question that has come up.
Yes, yes,
So
someone has asked that. Yes.
yeah, so yes, what you said is fenugreek water works. What I have found, Minakshi is something very tricky.
Mm.
Many people, what they do is when you give these kind of things, you give a fenugreek water or you give a karela
Yeah.
kind of a juice, cucumber karela juice, or also a lot of herbs like even methi powder,
Mm.
fenugreek powder along with cinnamon powder, black pepper powder,
Term.
then curcumin, turmeric, and
Yeah.
tulsi powder. Five powders, The five
Mm.
powders, if you mix them in the smoothie, again, it's very, very nice. So
Mm.
they help. But the tricky part I find, people at times, you might also notice it, they get attached to one particular item.
Yeah.
And that, I'm sure you would be educating it to your
Yeah.
participants. They say, okay, fenugreek water will do my job, and it gives
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
results, right?
Yeah.
Because medically you'll be find it this very interesting. Fenugreek works like a acarbose or voglibose. It's one of the medicines, okay, which creates a lining inside the stomach.
Mm.
I mean the intestines where the glucose gets absorbed. So
Mm.
because of similar action like a particular medicine where the absorbing of the glucose reduces after the fenugreek powder, okay, or a liquid fenugreek liquid with the seeds and all that, the absorption will reduce.
Mm.
The major challenge I find is temporary versus permanent. It's like, okay, till the time it's like taking a medicine, right? You took
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fenugreek
Body
liquid
becomes
till that time has
dependent.
the effect. The moment you stop it, then what?
Yeah. Yeah. The body becomes dependent. Yeah.
So what we try to do is try to push them to a level of taking 15 teaspoons of water, at least 15 teaspoons of sugar. You might not have
Mm.
tried it. Have you tried GGT with your diabetics?
No. No. No.
It's
No.
very interesting. It's very interesting. You give 15 teaspoons of raw sugar,
Huh.
glucose to diabetics after 6 months or something on the plan,
Yeah.
and see if they're able to handle it. And
Um.
last year we had 368 people handle it. It's a very
Amazing.
tough
So
test to.
without it having any like negative effects on the blood sugars, what you're saying.
No. Below 140 sugar after having 15
Mm.
teaspoons of sugar.
So this
368
is a great
cleared the
way. This is a great way to check how the body is reacting to sugar, basically.
correct.
Very good. We have one more question here. Oops. Uh, Why is it not going down? Someone is asking you what is the reason of having dal-based breakfast?
So dals contain little lesser grains, no, and they have more fiber.
Yeah.
So the absorption of glucose is slower. The moment, like for example, if you have a fruit juice, many people make a mistake of having orange juice,
Yeah.
And the worst will be a watermelon juice for a diabetic. It can shoot up sugars are high.
Yeah.
So if you have juice is without the fiber.
Yeah.
If you have fruit by itself, then it's okay.
Has the fiber. Yeah. Exactly.
So dals tend to have more fiber, so they reduce the absorption of glucose.
Yeah.
Okay, slow it down, and plus they have lesser glucose. Plus they've got some extra protein and calcium and minerals which are really good.
Yeah, the nutrient dense basically comparatively to grains.
Correct. More nutrient dense.
Yeah.
Muskan is asking you what's the best flour for diabetes. Come on.
Best
What's
flour.
Best flour
For diabetes. So I'm actually a big fan of all of these millets, the quinoa, the amaranth. Big fan of that, and I also like lentil-based flours. I give that a lot. Like all of them, like mixed with vegetables and stuff like that. I use those a lot. But I don't know if there's a best. But one of the things that I often recommend is the millets, the quinoa. Millets, although are higher on the carb in comparison with others, but they also are more nutrient dense, like we were discussing. So that is something I definitely suggest. But also depends on your weight and a few other factors is what I would take into consideration. But anything that's not super polished.
Correct. Somebody is asking about ragi, and I don't know whether we have the same opinion on that, but we've seen ragi tends to have a higher glycemic index than white rice. So we don't recommend in the first 2-3 months.
Yeah, that's what depends on the weight also.
Correct. What we tend to mix is, as you said, some lentils and grains together also works very well. Like for example, jawar, sorghum, which is a very high glycemic index, usually not recommended.
Yeah.
But along with that, if you mix black gram,
exactly.
It becomes very tasty.
Yeah.
Or let's say barley and chana together, which is jaw chana roti kind of a thing. And of course, all the millets except ragi or finger millet is good.
Yeah, it's a bit higher. Oops, there are quite a few questions coming in.
Yeah, papaya allowed for diabetics, Rashmi. Yeah, a little later once your sugars are more stable. If a diabetic wants to gain weight, needs to eat more, 1800 to 2200 calories. You'll have to go for fitness ball. One more nutritionist is there. She said, "Can I also come live?"
Please do.
We'll have to add, and we don't know what the philosophy is. Somebody asking you, what's your opinion on milk?
On milk, I'm actually personally, I'm not a big fan of milk. It doesn't go very well for me personally, but because I have gut issues with it. So also I would recommend A2 fresh milk if anybody does want milk. But honestly, I think human beings don't really require milk, so I don't specifically recommend it. But I leave it to each person. It's a dietary. But asking me personally if I recommend it specifically to my clients, mostly don't, unless someone really wants to have like some filter coffee or chai or something like that. But otherwise, on a regular basis, I don't really recommend milk.
So our recommendations are matching over here also, because we definitely recommend people to become not only milk free but vegan at least for 2-3 months to detoxify the body, alkaline the body, and it really works. There are many things like IGF, AGE, advanced glycated end products, insulin-like growth factor, which they should avoid. Somebody is asking about fasting. Oh, you should watch. Nikesh and others who are asking about fasting. You'll get a treat of a video which has been seen by almost 70 to 18 lakh people. Just type Dr. Pramod Tripathi fasting on YouTube. It's a power-packed video with a lot of good information on fasting, how they should fast, why they should fast. Actually, they should fast, but under proper medical guidance and step by step at the right time, so that everything is managed well. हिंदी में बताइए रमेश जी। मीनाक्षी जी चेन्नई से हैं तो पता नहीं कितना familiar है। मीनाक्षी जी आप हिंदी जानती हैं?
No, I can understand, but my Hindi is very. You do not want me to speak in Hindi.
You don't watch Hindi movies?
Of course I do. I watch all the Bollywood movies, but my Hindi is like spoken Hindi. I can understand, but no. You
थोड़ा बात कीजिए रमेश जी के लिए, थोड़ा सा बात कीजिए, मजा आ जाएगा।
Oh, please. No, no,
एक
please,
sentence
no.
बोल दीजिए मीनाक्षी from Chennai, Minakshi ji live with a Hindi sentence coming
It'll be
now.
like, you know that movie with Deepika Padukone and Shah Rukh, Chennai Express? Like how she says
हाँ,
bakwas. That's how I will be speaking. It's very bad. Let's not get into that right now, please.
Sattu, yes, Sattu you can use for strength building, gaining weight, provided you also do exercises and all that. It's important. Yeah.
It's a very weight gain
Somebody's
thing.
enjoying the session. Saying very nice session.
I'm
So yes,
glad.
Nupur. Thank you, Nupur, and good wishes, Nupur, and all those who are watching. Please go through it and enjoy the inputs that have been given.
Someone's asking you why do you recommend a green smoothie in the morning?
Green smoothie has multiple benefits. Okay, first of all, it gives you a wonderful dose of chlorophyll. Okay, which you don't get from cooked greens, and because in the cooked greens they get destroyed. And chlorophyll and hemoglobin are like two twin brothers. They join. I mean, they're exactly the same. Chlorophyll has magnesium in the center, which helps to reduce the blood pressure also, and hemoglobin has iron in the center. So getting a good dose of chlorophyll is very useful by taking greens which are pulverized, blended in a blender. Point number one. Point number two is it's highly alkaline, so it reduces the inflammation. And major problem with PCOD, BP, cholesterol, overweight. If you check HSCRP levels of people who are overweight, it's all above 4 and 5 and 6. They have a lot of
High
inflammations
risk.
at the body.
Yeah, yeah.
High risk. And that anti-inflammatory effect which happens of the green smoothie is really nice, very useful. My battery is going low. Sorry, forgot to charge the phone.
No
My
worries.
phone is going a little bit. So, anyways, so anti-inflammatory effect is good. Energy levels increase. We've seen it. People really fall in love with the smoothie and they say, I'm feeling immediately better because enzymatic content is very good. And enzymes help to, build energies. I mean, burn the glucose and all that. So anti-inflammatory effect, alkaline effect, chlorophyll effect, many effects are there. Try it out. See the video on green smoothie. Instead of look, one is intellectually trying to grasp information. Okay, what will be the benefit? What? Second is experientially learning. Do it. Digestion improves, acidity comes down, constipations improve. Now, but again, you might have to modify the type of smoothie for some of them because everything doesn't suit everyone, especially
Everybody.
thyroid,
Yeah, yeah.
kidney stones, kidney problem. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, oxalates and yes, correct. So let's end on one last, maybe controversial topic or not. I'm not sure what your viewpoint is, but what is your viewpoint on yogurt and curd? Because that is something I love, even though it's a milk-based product. I still think non-fermentation, it's gut-friendly, it's probiotic, it's cooling, it has protein, it has the carbs, it has everything. So that is something I recommend all the time. So is that something you would recommend, or you don't recommend curd?
I'll say something in Hindi for the benefit of the Hindi
Sure,
viewers.
please do, please do.
पेंसिल को शार्प करने के लिए तलवार का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं. अर्थात, explaining in English, when you want, I'll explain it. To sharpen a pencil, you don't use a sword, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So the message is very simple. Look, curds come from milk only.
Correct.
So the IGF part in the milk, it creates havoc. Especially, look, you need to give some breathing space. And I know Chennai, we've got so many participants who are like, curds to stop. I'm saying, I'm not telling you to stop for life. Just give it up for 1 week, 1 month. Let the body reverse. Make yourself strong. 10 years back, you were having curd rice and you didn't have diabetes, right? Let's first reverse for some time, right? So let's stop it for some time. Reverse first. And have you tasted cashew curds?
I have.
Yum. And so many other types of like really yum. Yeah. So give it for some time, because even if you go to Ayurveda texts, ancient Ayurveda texts, it very clearly says curds will increase kleda, which is water retention system, and it has all the chemicals which are there in the milk. So avoid it for some time.
It's the same
all
thing,
my friends, brothers, sisters in Chennai, if you can pause it for a little while till you are in a better state to handle it. We'll not only have curds, we will have payasam, and we'll have rasgulla, we'll have malai sandwich, we'll have jalebis, we'll have pedas, we'll have everything, yeah. But first first make reversal a priority. Go in the backward direction for some time. 151 post lunch is okay, Preeti ji, nothing to worry. Okay.
Awesome.
Minakshi ji, so good questions toward the end for controversy, but that's how what I like about your approach is again individualization and uh, being tolerant. It's like not taking a fanatic stand of anything. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's very important, I think, for people. And my final parting message for everyone is that again Hindi I'll use a little bit, then I'll convert into English. You'll love it. There is no diet which is sarvakalik or sarvajanik, and I'm Arthat explaining it. Sarvakalik is something which is some Kalik is Kal is like time. It's not like eternal. There's no diet which is eternal.
Timeless.
Okay. And Sarvajanik is no diet which is universal.
Yes.
No
Fully
diet is
agree with that.
universal. No, you agree with that?
Fully.
Yeah, no diet is universal, no diet is eternal. Depending on your life stage, depending on the change of season, depending on a reversal stage, with the help of qualified people, please kind of take the right decisions. You must take health in your hands, but please be in touch with people who can guide you properly, okay? And that's very, very important. Minakshi is there for us, for you. Freedom from Diabetes is there for you. You know, please kind of enjoy the journey of reversal and becoming healthy.
Awesome.
All right, Minakshi, anything else as a parting
All
message
good.
from your end?
We covered everything. Anyone out there have any more questions, please DM any one of us and we will be happy to answer your questions.
Super, super.
Okay. Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you and bye-bye, bye-bye, bye.